You gotta love that correlation to Stain and Izuku in this chapter. You remember what Stain said to Ida? Save him. He pointed at the dude that was down and hurt to Ida. Save him. Your top priority is to save him before you save yourself or go after your vengeance. And seeing that come up in this chapter, where how Izuku grabs Bakugo and runs. The chapter ends. It is done. It's such a great way to end this chapter. There is so much meaning in this chapter that it really just makes me want to tear up. Seeing my boy Izuku do that punch to All Might's face. Just straight to the fucking face. He just punches him. That may have not have mortally wounded All Might, but the thought of that punch still counts. And I think All Might also agrees. When he started thinking about the punch and also about the situation of what Izuku is doing, it has so much power behind it in terms of the feelings that he was trying to pass on. See, as we know, Izuku has always idolized All Might since the beginning. He's always looked at All Might as his hero, his number one favorite hero, he's number one, and he feels like no one could ever touch All Might. All Might is just that powerful. He's so fast, he's so powerful, he cannot be touched. He's like a god to him. And that's kind of the entire way Izuku has been viewing All Might since the very beginning. And looking at how this chapter was, given to us, it was like, in a way, it was like Izuku saying, I need to realize I need to get stronger. I need to stop standing in the shadow of All Might. I need to stop thinking that you're always going to be undefeatable. You're always the person that is going to be on the top. There's just so much meaning behind that punch that it really just goes to show you what type of character Izuku is, but also how much he has changed and not changed since the first chapter. As we know, the series started off with Bakugo being saved by Izuku. Remember, Izuku saved him, and then that caused an entire little rip between Bakugo and Izuku, and how Bakugo kind of treated Izuku. He's kind of putting him down a little bit, and we saw how there was a lot of arguments because of that ordeal. And seeing how this once again happens, this will go to show you how much these two have changed since that starting point. Because when Bakugo finds out he was saved by Izuku, I wonder what type of reaction he's going to have. Like, is he going to get pissed off and say, like, why'd you save me, shithead? Like, you should have left me behind, and you should have tried to run out the door. I can already see Bakugo saying that, but if he doesn't, in a way, what that shows is development. It shows you how they're mending, how their relationship is finally mending to where they can be rivals and not people that just want to slit each other's throats. Well, Bakugo wants to slit Izuku's throat. Izuku's like, just, why are you so aggressive? So, it's kind of one-sided, but we get the point here. The main point is that if Bakugo reacts well to this, of how Izuku saved him when he finds out, it will show you how much he has changed to his general reaction in the first part of the series. And I feel like that's kind of the way this is being set up. Now, besides that, however, I'm going to get a little bit off topic, but I need to discuss it because it's something very important that relates to Boku no Hero Academia. If you saw the cover page, it confirms the anime. And I've already discussed this quite a bit. I've discussed, what studio I wanted to do. I've discussed my horrors of, like, if it got Toei Animation. I've discussed, the spin-off series, like Boku no Hero Smash. I've discussed all that. But I just want to mention it once again. That cover page fucking looks amazing. It looks so good. If that is what the animation is going to look like if that's a quick glimpse of what the animation will look like, what the fuck, and what type of studio could pull off that type of quality, if that is what the animation is supposed to look like. Because if you look at the design of the color page, it looks a little bit different than the standard color pages we get. It looks a little bit more anime-ish. So I wonder if that's how the anime style is going to be, and if so, what studio could possibly pick up something like that and do that type of quality? There's only few studios, only a few studios that can actually do that type of quality on a consistent basis if it's going to be like 12 to 24 episodes. So I'm curious if that cover was telling us that's what the animation might look like. But besides that though, moving back into the chapter, let's talk about the color page. So All Might grabbing Izuku, lifting him up. That color page was just so fucking good. Like, when you see Bakugo on the ground, Izuku's just being held up. All Might is the meaning of wrecking your face. He just bodied both of them. I know All Might lost in the end at this chapter, but he didn't lose because he was overpowered. All Might did not lose because he couldn't catch up. All Might didn't lose because they were too fast for him. It wasn't because of that. The only reason All Might lost in this battle was because when Izuku punched him in the face, he looked at Izuku and he's like, that is the hero I looked at the first day I met him, and that is the hero I wanted to give my power to. So it was kind of a way of All Might realizing that his boy that he's been training since, like, the beginning has not changed in terms of why he wanted to train him in the first place. So, I love that. It was a great scene, and it really gave me some good emotions with this chapter. So, I feel like the way this chapter was written was pretty damn good. And there's not really much more to say. I mean, All Might bodying people, had crazy villain lines. As I've said before, I feel like he's heard so many villains in the past, or he's taken acting classes, that he is just really damn good at it. Because, I mean, the way he speaks as a villain, or when he's running in the middle of the conversation between Bakugo and Izuku, and they're talking about their plan of how to escape, and he's like, oh, and then what? While he's going that fast, it's just pretty damn crazy. One last thing I want to mention, though, is the smash that All Might uses in this chapter. If you look closely, when All Might smashes, he punches the air, and he propels himself towards Izuku. So he uses the air to push himself faster. Holy shit. Yeah, look at the punch. Again, you'll see him punch. He doesn't punch at Izuku, he punches away from Izuku, and he propels himself straight towards him. That's crazy. And once again goes to show you, Prime All Might would be a fucking scary son of a bitch. He would be so scary. I really hope All Might, you know, is in Boku no Hero Smash. Like, I hope that really focuses around his backstory. Or maybe One for All. Maybe that focuses around the Quark users of One for All. We get to see their lifestyle of the original Quark users, how they grew up. That would be pretty damn cool. So yeah, that is my thoughts on this week's chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.